This is not about chasing youth, it is about claiming your presence. We hit 60, and suddenly, the world seems to get louder. The mental chatter ramps up. That clear, sharp focus you used to rely on feels sticky, slow. You forget names, you dread complex planning, and simple tasks become overwhelming because of the sheer noise, the visual clutter, the digital bombardment, the constant hum of worry. I'm a physician. For years, I watched patients in their 60s and 70s seeking the magic pill for anxiety or the latest expensive procedure for memory loss. They wanted complexity, because complexity feels like it matches the problem. But the shift rarely comes from a pharmacy. It comes from the silence you build, the order you enforce, and the few minutes you steal back for yourself every single day. Forget the idea that aging means inevitable cognitive decline requiring powerful medications. That narrative is lazy and expensive. I'm here to tell you that balance, presence, and independence are absolutely attainable right now, at home, often for zero cost. The secret lies in realizing that your brain is deeply responsive to the sensory environment you curate. Small routine changes, the quality of light you receive, the rhythm of your breath, the posture you hold, the scent in the air, the level of clutter in your sight, these aren't peripheral. They are the core engine of your emotional stability, focus, and restful sleep. You want calm thoughts before sleep, not racing thoughts. You want to feel safe and steady when you are alone. You want that name that's on the tip of your tongue to simply flow out. We can achieve this with precision. We are talking about microdoses of discipline that yield macro results in peace and clarity. Here are the stakes. 3 minutes of focused breath can restore calm faster than hours of effortful meditation. Curating your home environment is often better than walking for true mental clarity, because it removes the internal resistance before it starts. And there is a simple Japanese ritual of visual order that will instantly reduce mind chatter. We're not waiting for an intervention. We're creating peace in your living room in 24 hours. The noise that steals your memory. Let me share a quick scene I see too often. Maybe you recognize it. You walk into the kitchen to grab something, a list, a key, a glass of water. Before you can complete the action, your eyes sweep the countertops, bills stacked, mail open, yesterday's newspaper, maybe a few items that don't belong there. The television is on in the background, offering a constant low-level drone of news or commentary. You instantly feel a subtle internal pressure, a tightening in the chest, even if you label it normal mess. Then, you get to the cupboard and you forget why you came in. You stand there, frustrated. The common mistake? You assume this is a pure memory failure. It's not. It's an attention failure triggered by sensory overload. Your aging brain is phenomenal, but it processes sensory input differently than it did at 30. It finds filtering harder. Every object you see, every fragment of sound you hear, every vibration the brain must process, it costs precious cognitive energy. When you surround yourself with visual clutter and background noise, auditory clutter, you are forcing your prefrontal cortex to use its limited bandwidth for filtering irrelevant input instead of using it for retrieval, memory, or planning, focus. The cluttered kitchen raises anxiety instantly because your brain reads the disorganization as incomplete tasks and pending demands. The noisy TV background worsens memory because auditory intrusion breaks the fragile thread of focus. Skipping a slow, intentional morning routine leads to mental fog because you jump straight into chaos. The shift begins with environmental honesty. You have to declare war on the clutter that steals your focus and, consequently, your memory. This is the first crucial step toward emotional clarity and stability. We are building anti-anxiety corners right in your own home. Mental order, the clean corner. Doctrine. I want you to think about the corners of the rooms you use most, not just the physical corners, but the visible surfaces, the coffee table, the nightstand, the corner of the desk. These surfaces must become sacred spaces, visual anchors for peace. This is your mental hygiene starting point. If one corner is visually clean and organized, a place where the eye can rest, your brain registers a small, measurable reduction in threat level. The Japanese ritual I mentioned is called danshari, a cousin to Marie Kondo, but focused intensely on psychological release through physical reduction. It's about creating mental spaciousness through physical emptiness. Actionable steps to create your clean corners. 1. The nightstand reset. Your nightstand must contain only 3 things: a book, a lamp with warm, low light, and maybe a glass of water. Remove phones, charging cords, unpaid bills, or anything that reminds you of unfinished work. The goal is sensory quiet before bed. 2. The entryway defense. This is where the outside world dumps its chaos: keys, mail, bags. Create a dedicated container for the mail that is not visually transparent. If you don't see the bills, they don't scream at your brain when you walk in. 3. Visual breathing room. If a shelf or tabletop is crammed with knickknacks, remove half of them. Seriously. Place them in a box for 30 days. If you don't miss them, donate them. The space between objects is where your mind breathes. Less noise, more peace, more clarity. The clutter that steals memory is the clutter you tolerate. When we talk about visual overstimulation, we are talking about anything that forces your eyes to jump around. High contrast patterns, excessive colors, and disorganized heaps, these are the mental thieves, calming the yashu. Visual field stabilizes your mood and frees up cognitive resources. The power of silent mornings. The auditory environment is just as critical. Many people hit 60 and realize they use background noise, TV, radio, constant podcasts, as a substitute for presence or as a defense against loneliness. But this noise is actively working against your cognitive goals. Silence in the room sharpens the mind. The first hour of your day should be digitally silent and largely audibly silent. Resist the urge to turn on the news immediately. Why? The brain, upon waking, is transitioning from deep restorative states to alertness. This transition is fragile. If you flood it instantly with external opinion, stress, and anxiety, which is what most news programs deliver, you sacrifice your baseline calm for the entire day. Instead, implement a focused tea time. This is not just drinking tea, it is a ritual of anchoring. 1. Warmth. Pull. Light. Find a spot near a window. Use a hot mug. Hold the warmth. Look at the light changing outside. If it's dark, use a very soft, warm indoor light. 2. Focus the senses. For 5 minutes, just notice the scent of the tea, the warmth of the mug, and the quiet sound of your own chewing if you are having a bite of whole grain or fruit. 3. The best focus ritual. Has no phone. The phone remains in a different room for this anchor period. This small ritual stabilizes your nervous system, allowing you to move into the day's demands from a place of regulation, not reaction. It prevents that early morning anxiety surge that often derails clarity and memory retention throughout the day. Mental hygiene. Anchor habits for stability. If the environment is the frame, anchor habits are the steady rhythms that keep the frame square. Anxiety thrives on unpredictability. Clarity thrives on rhythm. We need 3 core anchors: morning light, steady breath, and micro movement. 1. Morning light, resetting the clock. Exposure to natural light early in the day is not optional for healthy aging. It is essential. It signals to your body, specifically the suprachiasmatic nucleus, that the day has started, optimizing cortisol release, which helps focus, and setting up the melatonin release later that evening, which helps sleep. If you skip this, your body's internal clock drifts, leading to fragmented sleep, lower mood, and increased susceptibility to anxiety. Get outside or sit by the brightest window for at least 15 minutes. No sunglasses during this time. Let the light hit your eyes. 2. Steady breath. The 3-minute reset. When we are stressed, we often breathe shallowly, using only the upper chest. This sends a constant low-grade stress signal to the brain. Danger. You must override this manually. This is a crucial skill for regaining presence and stopping cognitive drift. The box breath reset. Anytime, anywhere. Sit up tall, feet flat on the floor. Inhale slowly through the nose for a count of 4. Fill your abdomen and lower ribs. Hold the breath gently for a count of 4. Exhale slowly through the mouth or nose for a count of 4. Release all the air. Pause for a count of 4 before inhaling again. Repeat this cycle 5 times. This focused, diaphragmatic breathing instantly activates the vagus nerve, which tells your nervous system, "Stand down, we are safe." This is the routine that restores calm faster than trying to force your mind into a quiet meditation without physical regulation. 3. Micro-movement, the chair ritual. We know we need movement, but complex workouts or long runs can feel daunting. We need movement that is restorative and grounding, not just caloric. I highly recommend chair rituals focused on posture, breath, and grounding. Sit in a sturdy chair. Focus entirely on your posture. Grounded feet. Feel the full weight of both feet pressing into the floor. This contact is a direct signal of security to your brain. Spine elongation. Imagine a string pulling the crown of your head gently toward the ceiling, shoulders down, away from the ears. The gaze. Close your eyes or focus your gaze softly on a single point, one of your clean corners. Movement sequence. 3 minutes. Very slowly, gently roll your head side to side. Stretch your hands, spread your fingers wide, then make a fist. Roll your ankles. These micro-movements increase circulation without raising your heart rate, reducing that stiff, locked-up feeling that often contributes to mental stagnation. This is simple movement for the mind. It anchors you in your body, pulling you away from the whirlwind of thought. Food awareness, clarity, foods and energy traps. You can manage anxiety and mood significantly just by changing what you put into your body in the morning and afternoon. Forget the afternoon sugar crash. It's a vicious cycle for the aging brain. You feel the mid-afternoon slump, a combination of natural circadian rhythm and poor lunch choices. So you grab a quick sugar fix, cookie, large soda, highly refined carbohydrate. You get a momentary lift followed by a dramatic crash 60-90 minutes later. This crash often presents as acute irritability, mental fogginess, or a sudden surge of anxiety. Clarity foods and what to skip. 1. The hydration trust. Your brain is mostly water. Even mild dehydration impairs attention and executive function. Start your day with 16 oz of warm water, maybe with lemon. Skip the large coffee right away. Wait until after your 15 minutes of light exposure. 2. Protein and fiber in the morning. A blood sugar spike in the morning guarantees a mid-morning crash. Focus on complex carbohydrates, oats, whole grains, combined with protein, eggs, nuts, yogurt, and fiber, berries. This combination stabilizes blood glucose, providing steady, reliable fuel for focus and mood. 3. Late caffeine. Do not consume caffeine after 1 p.m. Seriously, it takes a long time to clear your system. Caffeine consumed late disrupts deep sleep cycles even if you feel like you can fall asleep easily. Fragmented deep sleep is disastrous for memory consolidation and emotional regulation. 4. Do not refrigerate. These if you want brain energy. Avocados, walnuts, and quality dark olive oils contain fats that are critical for cell membrane integrity in the brain. These should be staples. Don't worry about keeping nuts cold, but store them properly, dark, cool pantry, and use them often for afternoon snacks instead of refined carbs. Living alone and peaceful. Connection to self. Many older adults find themselves living alone, and while this can be a powerful time for self-discovery, it can also amplify mental noise. When you don't have external dialogue, the internal monologue can become loud, critical, and repetitive. We need specific rituals to manage this internal dynamic. 1. Talk to yourself like this. Ruminating, endlessly chewing on the same problem, worry, or perceived slight, is a cognitive anchor that keeps you stuck. When you are alone, there is no natural interruption. The simple countermeasure is to speak your thoughts aloud to organize them. This is not unusual. It is a highly effective executive function tool. When you speak a worry or a problem, you pull it out of the chaotic, emotional part of the brain and force it through the linguistic and logical centers. It instantly becomes more concrete, less scary, and often more solvable. If you are stuck on a decision, say, okay, the problem is X. My options are A, B, and C. If I choose A, then consequence. If I choose B, then... This simple vocalization turns chaos into a list. 2. Better than journaling. This 3-minute reset. Journaling is excellent, but sometimes the thought of writing a long entry feels like homework. We need instant relief. Try the tension map. Take a notepad and physically divide the page into 3 sections. 1. Physical tension. Where do I feel the stress right now? Shoulders, jaw, stomach. 2. Emotional noise. What is the dominant feeling? Anxiety, frustration, sadness, dullness. 3. One small actionable step. What is the single smallest thing I can do right now to address one of these areas? Drink water, stand up and stretch, tidy one clean corner. This 3-part map prevents you from drowning in generalized anxiety. It gives you a diagnosis and an immediate prescription, demanding clarity and an exit strategy. The 10-minute guided reset protocol. When the cognitive overload hits, when your energy crashes, the anxiety surges, or you simply cannot focus on the task at hand, you need a reliable, repeatable sequence to regain balance. This takes 10 minutes, no technology required. The quiet room immersion. Goal: to fully ground the mind in the present moment through sensory focus. Phase 1, environment and setup, 2 minutes. 1. Declare silence. Turn off all background noise, TV, music, phone alerts. Dim the brightest lights or close the curtains slightly. Seek low, warm light. 2. Find your chair. Sit on a supportive, sturdy chair, feet flat on the floor. Take a moment to adjust your posture, tall spine, relaxed shoulders. 3. Scent cue. If you have access to a calming essential oil, rosemary for focus, lavender for calm, or even just a warm cup of mint tea, take 3 deliberate inhales of the scent. This anchors the moment. Phase 2, posture and release, 3 minutes. 1. Grounding check. Press your feet firmly into the floor, then relax them. Press your seat firmly into the chair, then relax. You are supported. You are stable. 2. Gentle neck release. On an exhale, drop your chin toward your chest. Roll your right ear slowly toward your right shoulder. Hold for a full breath cycle. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4. Slowly roll your chin back to center. Repeat on the left side. Notice the physical release of tension. This tension often holds mental chatter captive. 3. Shoulder shrug. Inhale deeply, bringing both shoulders all the way up to your ears. Hold the tension tight. On the exhale, drop the shoulders completely, sighing out loud. Repeat twice more. Phase 3, deep respiration and focus, 4 minutes. 1. Anchor, breath. Re-engage the box breath. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, pause 4. Do 6 full cycles. Focus entirely on the sensation of air moving in and out of your body. If your mind drifts, gently bring it back to the count of 4. 2. Internal scan. With your eyes closed or softly focused, quickly scan your body from head to toe. Are you clenching your jaw? Relax it. Are your hands tight? Open them. This deliberate release prevents physical tension from translating into psychological anxiety. Phase 4. Focus. Phrase, 1 minute. 1. The statement, repeat this focus phrase internally 3 times slowly. I am balanced, I am present, I am independent. 2. Final reset. Take 3 deep cleansing breaths. Before opening your eyes or moving, notice the distinct difference between how you felt 10 minutes ago and how you feel now. Less noise, more steadiness. This routine, the 10-minute guided reset protocol, is your personal, powerful tool against cognitive drift and anxiety. It costs nothing, requires no equipment, and restores your autonomy instantly. Safety and the path forward. These routines, curating silent space, using anchor habits, choosing clarity foods, engaging in gentle movement, are not complex, but they require consistency. They work by lowering the baseline stress level in your system, allowing your brain's natural clarity mechanisms to function optimally. Always respect your limits. Stop if any movement or routine feels uncomfortable. These routines are designed to be gentle, but you must adapt them as needed to your specific physical realities. If you have significant medical conditions, persistent severe anxiety, or are taking medications for mental health, please consult your primary care physician or a mental health professional before making major dietary or lifestyle changes. We use these rituals to support professional care, not replace it. Your challenge today. You now know that true autonomy in aging is built on simplicity, not complexity. It is built on awareness of light, sound, posture, and breath. We are leaving behind the narrative that requires external intervention for internal peace. We are claiming our inherent ability to regulate and focus. I want you to make 2 commitments right now. Commitment 1. The clarity swap. Choose one food swap today. Skip the late afternoon sugar fix and replace it with a handful of clarity foods, walnuts, a piece of fruit, or a hard-boiled egg. Commitment 2. The 10-minute action. Find a quiet room and walk through the 10-minute guided reset protocol just once. Notice the shift in your posture and your mental stillness. Start small, stay consistent, and watch the anxiety diminish as your clarity, memory, and presence return, steady and strong.